Old map of Kaunas.
What is the... Yes, I think 1823.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is an old map, and here's the town hall and the cathedral that I was in first. And here's the house we're in now. And here's the other church, which was Vitus.
Vytautas Magnus.
And then the bridge now goes across right here. They think that this would have been the shop, and that in there may have been where he did the manufacturing of his goods.
Adomas Mickevičius, very famous poet.
Ah, yes.
Polish.
Yes, I've read about him.
So we have
Pronounce his name?
Adomas Mickevičius.
Bedroom. Yeah. And you said the bathroom too, maybe here?
Also meeting place. And very interesting history.
This was probably the main entrance here. That protrusion on the right side is one of the interesting elements, of which there's some considerable question as to what it is used for. I frankly think it was used just to look at people. It was an easy way to look both directions on the street, including from here down to the river and also out onto the street, because this was one of the main drags off the main cathedral square. This, if we can see down through here, is the original wax factory works. You can see a round area here, whatever that implies, I don't know. And here a square area, and there a rounded area. These are just the foundations, and they've covered them with plastic to protect it. And apparently haven't peeled off the outer part of the plastic here. We were inside the town hall, which was also used for a commerce house. In other words, ships that arrived would probably come here and report their cargo, etc.
Very nice wall, we call White Swan Wall.
So this, of course, is the main room. It's still used extensively. Its architecture has changed over time.
You can see.
Oh, Middle Ages toilet.
Yes,
Okay. Oh, okay.
16, 17 century. It's not so very bad because here is almost.
Hardware would be original.
No, this is 1967. Magistrate, you can see here. Courtroom. Here was courtroom of justice in the Middle Ages. Nowadays, here is exhibition hall, and today you can see
The stairway that the prisoners would come up in order to go in front of the judge in the courtroom here. Here's a different level suggesting that maybe there were 2 levels to the prison. So we'll continue on down. So now we are downstairs in the prison. As usual, we wonder, what were all these niches and crannies and nooks for? This looks like it's open. It's covered with plastic. Could it have been for ventilation? Nice skill of the craftsmanship back in whenever the day was. The place was original in the 15th century, but how much of it was then created, I don't know. Which was an actual cell, don't know that either. 1964. This now pretty room may have been a central point for, I don't know. There were some pretty sizable rooms down here. How they were used, anybody's guess. Well, they had their imaginative ways, didn't they? Jesus. These would have been a cell. And there men would be chained up, presumably women also. It does seem to slope down, but what provision was made for bathroom? Probably none. There's a stairway leading up to somewhere. It's clean now, but imagine how horrific it was at the time. This might have been an air vent. I can feel air moving up through there. The day they allowed torture on anyone older than 16. And we cringe at waterboarding. Come on. You're an impressive door, but we don't really know if the hardware is old or not. It looks like it is, particularly that lock. This is another large religious complex. It looks like it's attached to that church. So is this one over here, but it seems to be a seminar. The design elements. This is fascinating. A large, beautiful church undergoing major restoration. I mean, like in major. Not only the artwork, which those men are working on over there, but also every other element, it seems like. To return this to a sense of majesty. It's in a good location in one sense from tourists, because to my left is the largest of the town wall, tower, and bastion complexes. I suspect that the pulpit has been removed for independent restoration somewhere else, not to mention restoring that wall and its structure. Working on the plaster as a prelude to painting the surface, a la the accent on light blue that we can see, which, if it gets restored, should be even more pronounced. Jesus has to take a time out while we redo absolutely everything here. And look at that doorway up there, or whatever it is. Wonder what his purpose once was. Lovely stained glass that someday will be surrounded by a completely restored wall and ceiling. Certainly will add to the spectacularness of this whole area, the wall, and the river beyond.